I'm Gary Halpern, Vice President, Neutronics Automotive. Many of you know Neutronics Automotive for our complete line of refrigerant identifiers and AC diagnostic tools. However, that's not the point of today's presentation. Today we'd like to introduce you to a brand new problem in AC service, and that is AC leak sealants. Now, many of you AC technicians are already using these AC sealants and have been so for about a year, but the game's about to change. Many large consumer distribution outlets are offering these products in many forms and fashions for any consumer to legally go in and buy and use this product on a 134A system. So what are these AC sealants and how do they work? Well, that's pretty easy. AC sealants are designed to fix small leaks in the AC system. If you follow the manufacturer's directions, what you do is you put this product either through the high or low side port, depending on what's called for by the manufacturer, and then the product travels throughout the AC system. If there's a leak, the product slowly escapes through that leak and reacts with ambient air. Now, in that air, there's some moisture, and that's the key. The moisture reacts with this product, forming almost an epoxy type of material that will seal the leak. So what's the problem? Sounds like a great idea. Well, in many cases it probably is, up until you have to recover the refrigerant out of the car into your expensive refrigerant recovery recycling machine. Remember, moisture reacting with AC sealant causes a solid epoxy type compound to form. If that was to occur within your refrigerant recovery recycling machine, you can have all kinds of problems. In fact, many of the major refrigerant recycling machine companies in the USA have already put out warranty disclaimers for the use of products like this within their machines. If they find that there is product like this in their machines, the warranties will be voided. So if you guys don't think this is a problem, let me show you some actual photos of AC sealant within recovery recycling machines and cars. The first photo here is a shot of a hose taken from a refrigerant recovery recycling machine. Note how we slit the hose and you can actually see the hardened product falling out of the hose. This hose was actually completely sealed. The next shot is of a solenoid. Note the product buildup within that solenoid. That's what caused it to fail. Finally, here's a series of shots from various vehicles where the product, the AC sealant, solidified within the car AC system itself. So now you can see that even if there's moisture in the car, there's a problem. But how are you ever going to get all the moisture out of a refrigerant recovery recycling machine? You're probably not. That's why you have to know whether there's AC sealant in that car before you recover it. And that's where the Neutronics Automotive design team has done it again. Introducing the Neutronics Automotive QuickDetect AC Sealant Detection System. This is a low-cost, quick, and very simple to use system to determine whether or not AC sealant has actually been introduced to the car that you're thinking about recovering the refrigerant from. The bottom line is if this kit tells you that there is AC sealant in that system, you need to think twice before you recover that refrigerant and potentially damage that recovery recycling machine of yours. Before we do a quick demo of the product, let me address a comment we've been getting back at the factory regarding whether you can use refrigerant identifiers for detection of sealants. The bottom line is no. Identifiers only work for identifying refrigerants and will not be able to detect the presence of AC sealants. And here's the good news though. AC sealants all have one thing in common. That is, they seal leaks. That's what the QuickDetect system actually is. It's a small, minute leak that we put on the AC system. If we seal that leak, then we know there's sealant in the system. If we don't seal that leak, then we know that it's safe to go ahead, identify the refrigerant, make sure it's the proper refrigerant, and then safely recover it into your refrigerant recovery recycling machine. So now let's see how simple and easy it is to use the new Neutronics Automotive QuickDetect AC Sealant Detection System. Here you see a complete new QuickDetect kit. The kit comes with an R12 adapter, an R134A adapter, a flow meter, and that's going to give us the visual indication of whether or not there's sealant in the system or not, a syringe, and the syringe is used to inject water into the test cartridge, which is the final component of the system. To use the system, simply select the proper adapter for the vehicle you're working on. This car is a 134A vehicle. What we will do is take a new cartridge, fill our syringe with standard tap water. No special water required here, any water will do. You then take the cartridge syringe and simply put a little bit of water in each side of the cartridge. Don't worry, this isn't a science. Simply shake out the excess water and then take this cartridge and attach it to one end of the coupler. Then take the hose supplied with the system and connect it to the other end of the test cartridge. When that's completed, I then take the flow meter and connect the other end of the hose to the flow meter, and the assembly is now complete and ready for test. Now that you've completed the assembly, simply hang the flow meter at a convenient spot that would provide easy visibility of the ball with inside the flow meter. I will then take the other end of the connector and go to the high side port of the AC system where I will attach it. I then simply watch the flow meter, and after a few seconds the flow meter will establish a fixed flow rate. I can adjust the flow indicator, which is simply an O-ring on the outside of the flow meter, down to the flow rate where the ball is. I then proceed to wait 1 to 2 minutes to see if the flow rate changes. Here you see an example of a car that has no AC sealant present. Note that the flow meter has the ball at the number 1 marking where it is very steady and has not moved after a full 2 to 3 minutes of testing. This car is now safe to identify refrigerant and recover it into your recycling machine. Here's an example of a QuickDetect system that is testing a car that does indeed have AC sealant. Note that although the ball starts at the number 1 on the flow meter, as the QuickDetect cartridge detects the sealant, it seals the system and cuts flow off, thus failing the car. Here, this is a fail. Clearly, we should not recover this refrigerant for sake of damaging our recovery recycling machine. There you have it. It's that simple, easy, and inexpensive. So why wouldn't you do it? Remember, a broken recovery recycling machine does you no good. In fact, it means lots of lost revenue. And don't look at the QuickDetect as an expense. Remember, it has a disposable cartridge that you can tape to the customer invoice and get paid for it. On behalf of Neutronics Automotive, I'm Gary Halpern. Thank you.